Now we continue with the discussion which we started yesterday. Whether anybody has intuitively thought about what would be the solution of the differential equation? What is the key of the differential equation? The key of the differential equation is that the differential equation, what is, whether anybody realizes that what differential equation we are solving? Presuming all simplicities, if O equal to 1, L in T equal to 1, what was that? What was the differential equation? dLOT by dt plus LOT is equal to 1. So what we need to solve this differential equation. We need to solve means, now I hope that everybody must listen very carefully. We means the solution must emerge from within you. The solution must emerge from within you. So you must think for the solution. And there is no need for you to refer any kind of formula, any kind of book. What it is, now everything you set aside. At t equal to 0, LOT was 0, LO0 was 0, right? Now, the water level is going to rise. That is obvious because we have connected it, right? The water is getting filled in. So, to be very, now, when we are supposed to think on something, there are two aspects. Whether to be very casual and assume everything which you see, or whether you have to be too critical and question everything. We have to achieve a balance. That, to be very precise, what we should say, how output level changes. But right now, assuming the situation and common sense, I will further simplify the question that I am sure that water level is not that going to only change, but it is going to rise. Is it clear? So, I now should think how LOT, that is water in the right hand side tank, its level should increase in such a manner that at any given point of time, you look here, whether something else is there coming in, no. Do you have any hand screen? No. Look here. The water level inside the tank is going to rise in such a manner where at any given point of time, every time, the water level at that instant plus the rate at which water level is going to increase must add to a constant value of 1. Is the idea clear? Is the question? Now, see, getting answer, now there are many ways. You can, Google is the best, what we can say, question solver. So, getting answer is not important, whether you are able to find it. So, we must attack this. So, what you must learn, the first thing which you must learn is that you must be able to define the question appropriately. Whether you have been successful in that, if you are successful in defining the question appropriately, then the answer will be automatic. It will come either today or tomorrow or maybe after a few days, maybe after a few months. So that is not important. What is important is to be able, whenever you are exposed to a new situation, to be able to understand, perceive the exact nature of the problem, isn't it? So, water level plus rate of rise of water level must be constant. How can we think of it now? based on this, it's a very nice issue she has raised. It is that the control is also signal to noise. So what is important? Whether signal is important or noise is important. But in that case, it is presumed that what I talk is a signal and what fan is doing is noise. But a person, this is an assumption, not explicitly stated. When it is not explicitly stated, then one can say that the rhyme and rhythm with which I am listening the fan is signal, and what I am uttering in the classroom in a nonsense manner is noise. So one must have a good signal to noise ratio. So she said that you put on the fan so that it will improvise signal to noise ratio. Anyway, now let us leave that one aside. So the the water level plus rate of rise. I have simplified the problem by saying rise, not change. Plus rate of increase of water level must be 1. So what should be the manner in which the water level should rise? Did anybody solve? Yesterday you got now yesterday what happened, I had some emergency, I composed the message that extra lecture I am not going to engage, but I could not put that. So he called me and I said that I put the message, but later on I saw that I could not put. So I put the message at later time that said that you enjoyed our lecture. But what you should have done that time? Why we had assembled here at 1:15 p.m. yesterday, you had assembled for this lecture in which this was going to be discussed. So it was expected that you should have a brainstorming. So whether anybody got a solution of this equation? This is differential equation. This is, I think it should be standard 12th question. But what you don't think on that issue that time. So I hope that this is for the first time we have developed a differential equation. All the time otherwise you just solve it just to solve. Just like you are attending because just to attend. Okay, now how do you move further? So what are the ways? Then there is one class, means now whether differential equation, do you know that why natural numbers are named as natural numbers? 1, 2, 3. It is said that even animals can understand that, not by 1, 2, 3, but by some kind of their own coding. It is so natural. Countable natural number, obviously they are countable. The numbers 1, 2, 3 are so obvious that even animals can understand it in some other context. So it's quite natural. Likewise, whether ability to solve differential equation is inherent in human being, a person who is not taught about differential equations, can he evolve it? Right? So once that various techniques are there, separable variable and all that, that is that anybody can do. There we are not supposed to apply any analysis and our analytical mind. It is just what we can say, advanced kind of copy paste technique. So that we don't expect. So how to solve this equation? How will you solve it? So one is that it should come from within, as if you and differential equation are made for each other. So you should be able to solve it. If you are not made for it, if you are what we can say, connect is not that strong, not made for each other. But in that situation, then at least you should have some kind of inclination where it is reverse engineering. Once problem is given, how to solve, then answer if it is given, our ability to test whether that answer is correct or not. So at least you must be able to do that, right? Are you getting me? So we can assume some equation, some answers and check whether they work, right? So what the answer should satisfy? So LOT will be or has to be some function of time t. LOT has to be some function of time t such that at t equal to 0, LOT is 0. Right? So whatever you write, when you put t equal to 0, answer must be 0, because that is, from that we are starting. You can start with a different setup where there can be some water initially. So there are various options. So now with this we start. Then what would be the first thing? You can say LOT is equal to T. LOT is equal to T. Let LOT be equal to T. What will happen then? What is dLOT by dt? 1. See that when I am very much, what we can say, in a gloomy state, when I am not able to solve complex question, and in that when a simple and obvious question is asked, you answer it as if you are like Archimedes. dLOT by dt is one that it is not that everybody should have what we can sing it in chorus. So if LOT is equal to T, then dLOT by dt is 1, right? So what is LHS of this equation? LHS is 1 plus T. And what is RHS? 1. So from 0 onwards you find that LHS is means obviously this is not the answer. Obviously this is not the answer. But when we come to conclusion this is not the answer, in what way it is away from the correct answer, that we also need to think of. So what we find is that LHS is always more than RHS. Just at t equal to 0, both are same, but after that LHS is more. Means whatever we have assumed. So if I plot the graph of LOT versus T, is like this, is T and L2. So LOT assumed by me is always, means I have assumed LOT such that it gives RHS or say LHS always more than RHS. So the actual answer should be less than this, right? Means it should be at any given t, LOT. So what can, now LOT equal to T is the answer, what we can say equation. So when you are unable to find the equation, at least you should be able to find inequality. So LOT equal to T gives us LHS more, which means that our actual answer LOT must be always less than T. Is it right? Always or not? So is it correct now? LOT is less than T. Is it correct? Yes or no? Is it correct? LOT less than T, or you need to change this inequality by some further fine tuning. Anybody? Where is the genius guy? He disappeared? No? He's not there? Now you see that those who were not there for the previous lecture are curious about who the genius is. Let the curiosity remain for some time. In the next lecture the model will be clear. So anybody else then? I think that girl is also not there who used to answer the question. Yeah, she is there. So she has followed him. She has gone. She raised when I said where is that girl who, then she presumed that she is genius. Okay. And she followed that to be on the front means even though we assume in a what we can say circular order, but means circular order indicates that it should not be a fixed notion that genius students should sit in the front row, but it's what we can say reverse discrimination deliberately done by the genius people themselves is also wrong. That is genius people that is that suppose what can be a wrong example of classroom order. Normally genius couldn't sit on the first desk. Then suppose somebody wants to sit on the first, then the teacher says, no, you can't sit here, you go back. That is wrong. But that is wrong, that doesn't mean that the scenario should change diametrically such that the genius student deliberately goes on the back bench so as to ignore the attention of the teacher. Okay, anyway, so you want to add something in this inequality? Anybody else also? Less than or equal to. So, and sometimes it happens so that by, do you know Vikramaditya's Simhasan? There was a place, he has not learned judicial practices earlier. But when he goes in that place, automatically he starts interpreting all these things. Like that is a genius place. It's not that he is non-genius, but place as well as the person, that synchronism takes place, resulting into LOT must be less than equality. But now how will you try? In what way you will try further? So there are many options. Then you will say t minus 1. No. Why? Because at t equal, LOT is less than equal to t and LO0 so the equation cannot have any constant. The equation cannot have any constant. If only t is there, means 1 plus t, 2 plus t, that in that it's not a, it can't have any constant. It can have a constant. In fact, actual answer has got a constant. So how can we proceed further? So then root t one may try. Many options you may try. And anybody has got the answer? Don't give the standard answer which you have learned by using some kind of mathematical background. That we don't do. We want zero prerequisite. Based on mere intuition, you must be able to answer. I think everybody should watch here. So, is there a different method? I think that also, I think in one of the previous semester slides, it was lecture was there. So, what we can say, your pursuit for perfection, is it, I think, can you write away, all of you must have in your 10th, you must have also having some kind of inclination towards literature. So can you write an essay whether pursuit of perfection or pursuit towards perfection is a boon or curse? Perfection चा आग्रह शाप की वरदान. What can be the conclusion? Sometimes you, if insist on perfection, then on many occasions you will find that you are very close to an answer. The distance with which you were away from the answer is highly negligible. But since you insist for zero distance, you say that I can't find the answer, and you again start. So you will be in endless loop. Again, that needs for some kind of deviation. It is also a very interesting question. When it is regarding zero distance. Listen very carefully. That this is, listen very, very carefully. This is one stylus of given length. Right? The length of the stylus is, let us say, L1. Numbers 1, 2 and 3, that is no meaning. Only what is defined? In a linear scale, unity, and how many times that unity? L1. Whether a different stylus of exactly same length L1 exists, are you getting? It's a, see that what I aim at, I will try my level best to take your thinking in the direction what I want to achieve synchronism. This is a stylus of some length L1. Whether there will be any other stylus of same length?
Yes.
Same exactly. So we want exact. Maybe. What is the probability of that maybe?
0.1.
Okay. So let us say stylus we do. Okay. So there is no need of some, see, abstract thinking. Means when nothing was there, you were in your room and watching the fan. Abstract thinking means that stylus, length of something, that's to perceive length, some entity of stylus like that is not required. I can think in vacuum. So listen very carefully now. So this is some base level, and this is a point. This is a point. Again, when point is shown, a point can be seen, and what is seen can be a point, right? Because point has zero dimensions, and this is what we can say a field sphere, a field circle. But I hope that now you are in a position to understand that a point is an unseen entity which is at the center of the seen circle, right? So that point is having height now from this mean zero reference level h1. h1 is the height. Then can you, using again stylus, can you put anywhere a point which is having same length as h1? Can you point? Yes or no? No? So there you cannot locate, or you can, listen very carefully, you cannot specify another point which is having same length h1. Does that mean that the points of height h1 with reference level do not exist in the plane. This is plane. They have to. A parallel line has got infinite points of same length. So, see, I hope that Heisenberg's, if you are heard Indian, what we can say, speakers, or if you have heard nowadays, since it was pandemic time, you might have heard all speakers right from abroad or on, say, like other planets also. So, in that you might have heard Heisenberg's principle of uncertainty. This, what I am telling, is in a different context. So, when a point of height h1 is given, what I claim is, listen now very carefully, if you choose any other point, it will not be of same height. Right? Listen very carefully. A point P1 of height h1 is given on the mean level. The claim is, you cannot, if you choose any other point P2, it will not, what you are looking, you look here. Oh, he must be choosing the point on the, what we can say. You cannot choose a point P2 of same height. Or, if you, not like that, this is different way. There is a point P1 of height h1 is given, then if you choose a point P2, it will not be of same height h1. It will not be of same height h1. But that also doesn't mean that the plane does not have points who are at height h1. So, if you specify a point, it is not of equal length. And there are equal length points, equal height points, but you can't specify them. So, this is original statement. In Google search you will not find it. A new principle of uncertainty. Two specific things are never equal, and its contrast, two equal things are never specific. Then the word two you can also remove because it is redundant, and a very compressed statement of uncertainty. Specific things are never equal and vice versa. You got it? You must be able to understand it now. If you are unable to understand it, you should continuously think. And now the recorded version is available. And the downloading is free. Data is free. What is not free is your desire is not free. Specific things are never equal and vice versa. Or to be put in somewhat simpler words, two specific things, what you are doing? Two specific things, she's what we can say, stunned by all kind of this nonsense discussion. Two specific things are never equal and two equal things are never specific. Another point will have a different length and a point of same length cannot be located, cannot be pointed. Okay, anyway, from where we have come to this? This is something in live class that cannot happen in what we can say either pre-recorded mode or when students are in some Google Meet like that. That kind of thing can't. So. the subject from in a classroom is an essential feature. A teacher who is, if is restricting, in that case he can say that he is not giving justice to the context of the classroom. That can't be told something later. Okay, now let's move ahead. Well, I think by tomorrow I will load the standard link so that you should never say that the syllabus is not covered. It's not a, what we can say, a high school. Oh no, so this point is remaining and what we should write. Okay, anyway, now what kind of next? We came from approximation. So it's better for a normal person. Those who are super genius can differ, but for normal person, we work for approximate answer. And then if that serves a purpose, okay. Otherwise, I will move for next. So what can be, how can we think of approximate answer? LOT, expression for LOT, is very difficult to find. We found out. Actual full expression. But with the extreme advantage of digital things, semiconductor technology, audiovisual things, the continuous variable has lost its relevance. Which camera is having infinite resolution? Have you megapixel, then terapixel it may be. Then you were having earlier old cameras which were using the film to be exposed, Kodak cameras. Whether resolution is put there? Resolution, it's infinite resolution, it's continuous. Now, continuous is made up of again points. Point does not have any dimension, and all other things now come. That is, anyway, we can't afford too much deviations in a single lecture. But one question was asked to you last time about the chromatic vision. Anybody has thought over it? Have you googled it? There are super color visionary persons called as anybody? Tetrachromatic vision. Tetrachromatic vision means there are some two shades which normal person can't distinguish, but a person having higher color vision can distinguish them. Color blind is different, normal is different, and tetrachromatic is different. Means normal students, super genius students, notorious students, like that. Okay. So what we do is that now you are having tank, that conduct the experiment, and now what is there with easily available digital camera inside your mobile, everything you can record. And then that video processing is also difficult. So what you can say, video processing, too many films, too many, what we can say, images. So you take it screenshots. You can have a program in computer. Or instead of saying taking video and separating the frames, what you can say, you can have pictures at 1 millisecond each. Water flow is that way slow. So if you take 1 millisecond each photographs, right? The water is there and you start at t equal to 0, open the stopper, water will start flowing, and in the right hand side tank water will rise. So you take at 1 millisecond each, you take photographs, and then you will say that few students came late. Then what they will say that what should be the, why they should become somewhat what we can say anxious. What was discussed during our absence? But if your absence is for negligibly small time, then that whatever discussed is not, you don't lose much thing. So if you are able, when you have taken photographs, and based on that photographs, can you develop the expression for LOT? Only thing is that the photographs will not give you the water level at all times, right? But the photographs will give you water level at specific points after regular interval. Then why regular interval? Can we go for irregular interval? These are advanced level questions. Right now we remain regular. Means what will happen? So if I bunk one lecture, then is it all right? Then what will happen if I bunk two, sometimes one? So instead of LOT, what we have got is LON. That is the water level in the right hand side tank at the nth sample, where every sample is taken at capital T equal to 1 millisecond or equal to 1 into 10 raised to minus 3 seconds. So what is LON? LON is equal to LONT, right? Or to be very precise, LOT at T equal to nth sampling instant, that is LON. Is it right? Then based on that, only thing is that suppose that a student doesn't attend regularly, attends irregularly, but if he starts attending, or you are a super genius student, so you are thinking of the right now what will happen if whether the Russia-Ukraine dispute, in what way it will affect the world, and like that. If you are in between, you are viewing and then again coming back, right? And you are super genius, so you viewer, come back, viewer, come back. Still you are able to understand. But if your viewing time is much larger and coming back, being in the classroom time is much less, what will happen? Then you will not understand. So based on samples, if your camera sample 1 millisecond, then you are, whatever you derive the expression would be very close to actual solution. But if you are taking picture 1 minute, 1 minute is that very large period. So whatever you derive will be very crude approximation, right? So that is not the answer. So if, and 1 millisecond is a good enough period. So now, can you convert this differential equation into or instead of capital T we use delta T, because there is some advantage of using delta. So what is dLOT by dt? dLOT by dt, that is the derivative by first principle, called as ab initio. If you are unable to find something, go for first principle. What is the equation of derivative? F dash x is equal to f of, so d by dx of fx, or same as f dash x, is equal to f of x plus h minus fx upon h, and this is as limit as h tends to 0. Right? Is it okay? So, it is f dash x. Then you have seen this. There are few people who are always alternate thinkers. Means whatever that normal persons. What is that? Whatever is taught in the class is true, is correct. A normal thing. Then there are few other than this normal thinking, there are few what we can say reverse thinkers. What do they think? Whatever teacher tells is always wrong. Reverse thinking. That is not also a good practice. But we can, there are few who doubt. There are few who doubt. Okay, but he says, but why? I am not convinced. So I don't agree to be correct. And there are few more. What they are? Alternate thinkers. Is it the only way of telling? Can there be other ways? And if there are, whether you are searching other ways on Google, look here. And if there are other ways, whether all are of what we can say same effect, or all explain it in the same manner, same quality, or other way can be better of better quality. So what do you think? F of x plus h minus fx upon h. Whether this is if anybody is having doubt on it or in search of alternative thing, anybody is there having some thinking? I think that this is not wrong, but biased expression. This is biased expression. F dash x equal to f of x plus h minus fx upon h is a biased expression. Can you make it unbiased? What are other ways? This is not wrong, we can say, because anyway it is approximation, one can say. But see, conviction is important. I should be convinced, yes, it is correct. Then it is my skill to convince you. So I have a new theme, convincing through confusion. First, students are to be confused, and once they are confused, they go in a hypnotized state. And at that fluid state of mind under hypnotism, they get convinced to anything which is said to them, that they get convinced to something now and its exact complementary thing after some time. So now what? So this is something for which it is not, first of all, it is not the only thing, and there are some options, and this is not correct. Not correct. It is biased. It is biased. So how will you make the expression more derivative unbiased? F dash x, f of x plus h minus fx upon h as h tends to 0 needs to be made unbiased. How will you make it? I think I can sense, you have ever answer, right? What is that?
F of x minus h upon
F of?
x.
Right. But is it biased also? Instead of this, in our discussion we will be having this. Because it is something t, if it is real time, then f of expression is something future. Why we should think of that? So the expression is f of, here I answer exactly, f of x minus f of x minus h upon h. This is given first, this is the alternative second, but both are biased. Then can they be third? Which is most perfect? Whether that Sivasan is telling something? No? What about you? So what? Left hand limit and right hand limit. But means h, you can say negative. But we presume h to be positive. Means it is never said that h is positive, but when we presume it to be positive. But even if it is positive or even if it is negative, both expressions are biased only. So what would be a perfect expression? What we can say, perfect expression, which will not matter what h is. I think after this much explanation you must answer. If h is positive, let us say for time being, if we take h as positive, in that case, what would be the totally unbiased expression for f dash x? See, I am talking something relevant. It's not that, and I am talking in an appropriate medium of instruction. So this is bias in one side, this is bias on the other side. So what we can make a change? You must think of. Therefore now actually we should take terminal lectures. Terminal means after that only those who are able to answer can leave the class, those who can't should remain in the class. So what is next? Combine both of them. How? How to combine? It's your place which is telling you. No. So, you say no. It's not. It's contempt to my ability. You can say. How you combine? Add. So what that add, when you add, what will happen? If you add, you are very correct. It will give double effect. So after addition, what you get? F of x plus h minus f of x upon h plus f of x minus f of x minus h upon h. When we add, what we get? F of x plus h minus f of x minus h upon h. But that is double, right? So it would be 2f dash x. So what is f dash x? This is unbiased expression, right? We will continue the next session.